Good evening everyone and welcome to the rerun, rather, of the first round of the Volkswagen Scirocco League. You may be seeing it at the moment on the Twitch stream at the moment saying that it's round 2 at the McGann Trophy, but for some reason Twitch does have a tendency to throw up a few curveballs. But we're running again and hopefully everything goes to plan tonight. We did have a few issues last week with the GC Sport servers, but these have now been resolved, so all the best hopefully for the drivers tonight so that we don't have any continued issues. Good evening to Burnt Fry in the chat, good to have you with us again, and it's going to be a fascinating race. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure everyone will be. Last week the session did look very interesting in terms of the practice times that we were seeing, but after all that, it didn't matter. So, media day is effectively over and we're here now back in Germany at the Nurburgring for the rerun of round 1. For those that aren't aware what's happening tonight, very unique circumstances. So we're running 2 races back to back. So usual standard qualifying of 10 minutes. The race will be 20 minutes long. Then we'll have a little break in between that. And then following on a little break, we'll do round 2 at Alsace. So 3 races in one for me tonight to commentate on. I'm fairly certain my voice will be pretty much over and done with. So we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. P Gibbs just put in the comments there, still shaking after that race. I'm not ready at all. Well, hopefully for Gib, you'll be able to get a chance to have a little bit of a recuperation, I suppose. What I'm doing at the moment, you may hear some quiet moments, a few pauses in that sense. It's just down to the fact that I'm just sharing on social medias for NXTGEN that the broadcast is live so that everyone's aware that the racing's going on. Jordan has indicated qualifying is starting now, and there we go, it's ticked over. We can see that countdown beginning. It's going to be great to see as Bruce Lee Harden does a nice big 720, in fact, for the cameras. So thanks for that, Bruce. Nicely done. Qualifying open. Out come the drivers. D10 Piper obviously just won in the McGann lobby just then in the lobby 2 for Alsace, so he'll be coming into this potentially feeling a bit more confident than he might have done had he have finished on the podium. So got a very nice livery, has D10 Piper. He's just gone past Burnt Fry. I have to say that's a fantastic livery Burnt Fry has to be said. There's JPH 99 in the Boyd Transport car. See how he gets on. P Gibb is out in the pits now. He's just driving around in his sort of red, blue and yellow livery. Quite nice actually, I have to say. Nice use of the Excite logo in a few different areas there. NXTGEN Hirokram, obviously the pre-season favourite, in his Every Little Helps Tesco car that he's got going in his Scirocco. D Whitehouse in that Club 100 livery that he's got. It's a nice one. He's in the pits. Timmy DJG now. Good to be commentating on Timmy and D Whitehouse for this season. Not got the opportunity to usually do that in the McGanns due to the fact that they're now both in Lobby 1 thanks to finishing 1st and 2nd in that championship. But they're in Lobby 1 now for the Volkswagen Scirocco, so it's good to get a nice commentary position on this race. It's going to be really fascinating to see how these 10 drivers go during the session. Jordan's just said good evening in the comments box there. Good evening to you, Jordan. Obviously I have to remember that there are 2 Jordans in the lobby. Good evening to everyone as well. Seamus just coming around the final corner. He's updated his livery for this now official round 1 as he comes across the line. Seems like D10 Piper and Wace were going or rather Wace and Bruce Lee Harden were going side by side as they came round the final corner. Wonderful track at Nurburgring, obviously located in the Eifel area of Germany, obviously famous to the Nordschleife, and as well as that, the historical element of the Nurburgring, not just in terms of the wonderful races that have happened over the years. If you think back to that infamous European Grand Prix in 2007 when Marcus Winkelhock briefly led his first ever race, but also the history of the Eifel region, you know, with the castles and with a whole load of heritage. As we just see D10 Piper go flying off the circuit there. Bernfry just trying to clear a penalty by the look of it. Must have cut a corner somewhere in the Mercedes Arena area. Not quite sure how he's managed to do that, but nonetheless he's going through the corners. There's Gibb currently at the moment. He's gone onto his lap. Hirakram. And D. Whitehouse has now got himself out. He's just coming through the Schumacher S section, obviously named after legendary Michael Schumacher. But Timmy will be the first driver to set a lap, and sure enough he's got a Michael Schumacher tribute, and I think on his bonnet cam, I want to say that's a Maradona tribute. Obviously, those that don't watch football, Diego Maradona, famous Argentinian footballer, unfortunately passed away at the age of 60 the other day. Really sad to hear. I'm fairly certain that is a tribute to him, so he's just updated that livery for certain. It's Seamus. He's gone from a different livery from last week as Seamus, the Irish driver. I do quite like the matte sort of chromish look towards that silver grey that he's got going. It's a very nice livery, I have to be honest on that one. He's done a lot of work with that livery. He comes then round the final corner, and that's Timmy setting a lap time of 2 minute 2.1. Seamus just 4 tenths back on that. Bruce Lee's got Wace following him in his slipstream, so we'll watch these two come across the line. So Bruce Lee goes second quickest, Wace a little bit down on that. Bert Fry 2 minute 4. Jordan, what can he do? He's up to 4th. D10 Piper's just coming across the line. He must have had a bit of a wobble somewhere on circuit. What about Gibb? Good lap time from Gibb. That puts him right up into P1. Fantastic effort. What about the pre-season favourite though? Here comes Hirakram round that final corner. He's got a 2 minute 2 flat to beat. It looks like he's going to beat that. It's a 2 minute 1.1. Hirakram setting the pace on the opening stages of qualifying here. 5 minutes to go. Great lap from Hirakram. Really good effort from him. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep the performance up there. One thing I did speak about with the drivers during the last couple of days was actually about the Scirocco itself. Obviously a brilliant car to drive and wonderful to spectate on. Hirakram's picked up a penalty somewhere. The drivers were saying that you really have to rev the car coming out of the corners. You know, you'd anticipate some cars would drop down into second gear for the slower corners, but the drivers were saying third was the best bet. That's the way they can get the traction, and even though the wheel spin goes quite a lot, there's no tyre wear in this series, so the drivers are using that ability to get a bit more momentum coming from the cars as they fire themselves out of the corners. So Hirakram obviously has got his technique down and nailed with that one. He is down on his lap, but he did cut the corner earlier on, so he's not going to improve on this lap. There's Pete Gibb, we're just watching at the moment. What about Timmy? Will he improve as he comes towards the line? He does, but only just. D. Whitehouse has gone up to 8th on his lap that he's just come across the line for. I think that's his first lap he's just done. Bruce Lee Harden doesn't improve. What about Wace? That's more like it. From Burnt Fry, he's got himself up to 2nd. Wace hasn't improved. Jordan is up to 6th. What about D10 Piper, a little bit further back? He has improved. It's just 400ths off the back of D. Whitehouse. There's to be a nice little fight going on for 8th place in qualifying at the moment. Wace, D. Whitehouse and Piper separated by not even a 1/10 of a second. And Seamus has called it into the pits. I don't think he's going to... He's got time to come out and do one more lap. That's all he'll have time for. Hirakram just has come across the line to start a new lap. So 3 minutes to go in the session, less than 3 minutes now. Interesting to see what Gibb does during this session. He's in second. It's a really good effort from him. He's currently fastest, or well, he's got his personal best in the first sector. As Burnt Fry, he's just getting out of the way. It looked like Jordan just went past him, the other Jordan in the lobby. That's Timmy just on the brakes as he comes in towards turn number 11. He's going to flick the car. You can see how the Scirocco, as he put the power down, see how the car wobbles as it tries to gain some traction. You can see the bit of axle tramping almost going on as the car goes through that corner. And he is up on his time as Timmy. Bruce Lee's got a penalty, so he's probably not going to improve on this lap now. Jordan just coming through. Good evening to everyone who's joined. Hope you're enjoying the qualifying session so far. The first of two for tonight's event. Obviously we'll be going to Alsace in about 25 minutes time. Timmy's just gone across the line. He's improved, as has D Whitehouse. So Timmy up to second. 7/10 off Hirokram's pace. And Hirokram is on the purple sector. So ominous signs for the rest of the group. Wace is now improved, as has Jordan. Jordan up to third. That's a very good effort from the Boyd transport driver. Has to be said. He was last in the sort of media day running last week. He's up to third now, so good to see for him to move up the field. Wace, on the other hand, almost rolled reverse. He was higher up in the practice effective media day session that we did last week. Hirokram's just gone into the 2 minutes with a 2 minute 0.9. What's that gap leading to now for the Tesco driver? 8.5 tenths. That's a lot of work to do for the rest of the grid to try and catch on to the back of that. Obviously you can see Hirokram's gone for a sort of Tesco Momentum 99 livery. I want to say that's a reference to the MG6 that Jason Plato used to run in the British touring cars. Obviously the MG6 way back when was a very competitive car. It's sort of been phased out in the touring cars nowadays. But in the Sciroccos, all equal machinery. So let's see how Hirokram gets on. Can he go any quicker would be the key point. Not long left in the session now. Timmy has caught D Whitehouse on this lap. I say caught, he's got the slipstream, so that's going to really help him on his final lap, and this will be his last one. D Whitehouse will come towards the line first though, so we'll go with Dave as he comes round the penultimate corner to that chicane. We'll ride on the sort of external camera with him. So here he comes then towards the line. Is he going to improve? It looks like an improvement. It is. He puts himself sixth. That's a good effort. Timmy's improved. He's got himself further into the gap of Hirokram. I say further. It's not much. He's gained 12 hundredths of a second. Not much. Jordan not going to improve on this lap. Gibb, what about him? He's further back in the field. Burnt Fry's coming around the final corner. So what can he do? Has he got any slipstream from Jordan? He has. He's up to second. That's a great effort. So Burnt Fry up into second. What about Piper? He does improve. Stays 10th. Well, that's not too far away for a debutant. He's not too bad there. Seamus in 9th. Gibbs improved as well. He's up to 3rd place. So late shuffling in the order. I think Hirokram's still just coming towards the line. He goes quicker again. And it's Hirokram on pole position in the Tesco car. Brilliant drive from Hirokram. He's half a second, 6 tenths effectively clear of Burnt Fry. Good lap from Burnt Fry in the end for the CRT driver. Gibb in 3rd. He'll be happy with that considering he, was shaking a little bit before the start. I've got a comment from Deepest Angel explaining that Hirokram's livery is because he works at Tesco. So my whole idea of it could have been about Jason Plato has been thrown out the window. Oh well, not to worry. Timmy is in 4th. Good effort from him. JPH 5th. He was 3rd briefly, but he'll be happy with 5th in the midfield. Wace is 6th. D Whitehouse 7th, despite his throttle issues with the G29 he's just put in the comments chat. So hopefully that sort of clears itself up enough for him to get a decent run in for both of tonight's races. Bruce Lee Hardin in the, let's call it the IT Solutions livery. He's in 8th. Seamus is in 9th. Obviously didn't get any more laps in towards the end. And D10 Piper is in 10th. On his debut, I don't think he can be too displeased with that. Jordan's saying he's happy he got a bit of practice in last week. That was his only amount of practice. So, honours even for everyone in the field in terms of practice potentially. As we come into the race now, this is going to be an interesting one. Front wheel drive at the Nurburgring, not the easiest of circuits on a front wheel drive car, but we've got Hirokram on the right hand side, CRT Burnt Fry on the left, followed by Gib and Timmy. Lots of wonderful coloured liveries in this one. We are going to be underway, 20 minutes on the right hand side. Here come the numbers. And the race is live here from the Nurburgring, and once again, peculiarities have hit the field. We cannot get a lobby to run in GT Sport, can we? Everyone else is stuck on the grid. Oh dear. That is not ideal in any way, shape or form. So, that has happened. Unfortunately, and Hirokram saying not again. Unfortunately, it has happened again. I actually cannot believe this. Seamus has clattered into Hirokram there, so I'll exit myself. I cannot believe that has happened. That is absolutely unbelievable. Jordan's going to set a manual grid, which is quite convenient. And we'll have to wait. So I'm going to guide you through the Demolition Derby going on in the grid at the moment. Not ideal for Seamus. In fact, he's driven off now. So we're going to just sit in the lobby in the meantime. Jordan annoyed. Both Jordans annoyed, actually, would be the correct answer on that one. So, race has been cancelled, so Jordan's going to set up that again by the manual grid. So whilst we wait for Jordan, tell you a little bit about the Nurburgring really at the end of the day in the Eifel region, because this is the perfect time to do it, to be honest. So obviously a lot of history in terms of looking back towards, in terms of the war, of course. Obviously we're not going to cover too much on that front. Jordan's just sorting out the grid from his video. It's not the biggest area in the world. Is the Eifel region. In terms of, it's about 62 miles long, and the peak is at Hoacht. Of course, a lot of culture involved. Of course, usually, well, over the years, it was a sort of traditionally isolated area. Obviously, there were a lot of forests around. Obviously, the Nordschleife was cut through forests. Quite a lot of folk tales of the area in terms of living legends, myths, creatures, a whole different set of mythology involved in the Eifel area. D. White has just put a comment and said, sadly the throttle issue is dropping throttle mid-straight. Oh, that's a shame. That is really a shame. Hopefully something can change on that one for Dave. Just the settings have been changed, so Jordan now going to be setting the grid manually. But of course, the Nurburgring itself's gone over many iterations over the years. Of course, the first chicane in particular is one particular area of the circuit that has changed on the GP loop. Obviously, it's gone under 3 different variants. It used to be a very quick left-right, left kink way back when. Then it became a sort of slower left-right, left corner where I believe Pedro Diniz was flipped. in the Formula 1 race back in, I want to say, 1999. And then obviously the circuit was again uprated, and we had the new Mercedes arena installed, and that's got that sort of very difficult first sector where you have the first right-hander at the hairpin. Hirokram's just said, I'll start here. Whereabouts is Hirokram on circuit? Oh, he's just going to stay in the on circuit. That's where he's going to be. At the back. That's where he's planning on sitting. Seamus just giving a bit of advice to Dave, saying press pedal up and down quickly, lots. It can help. Hopefully it can. That'd be the key point. Yeah, no, absolutely, Dave. That was another really wonderful race. Obviously, Johnny Herbert won that one in the Stewart, the first and only ever victory for Stewart. Johnny Herbert taking his last win in Formula 1 as well. And obviously that big battle from Trulli in the, I want to say he was in the Prost at the time. And as well as that, obviously Barrichello taking another podium for Stewart in that race. It was a fantastic Grand Prix. Lots of different incidents involved in that. Obviously David Coulthard was leading that race at one point. He threw it off circuit. Giancarlo Fisichella was leading. A couple of issues with Fizzy on that one, as Wace has just ploughed into another driver. There's to be a lot of that going on. Well, the final's going to begin. We're not here to watch the F1. We're here to watch the Nurburgring GP in a Scirocco. So here we go then. Lobby has opened up. I will go to track if it will let me, or I'll have to now wait until the start lights come on. Flashing of the lights, there we go, we've got it up now, we can see that, lobby set, loads of comments, and indeed Frentzen led as well earlier on in that race, but here we are for this race. Second time lucky. Here come the numbers. And the race is live once again, and this time everyone is away well. It's a good start from Hirokram. He's currently leading. Bert Fry, though, has equally got the measure of him as they approach turn one. Hirokram looking to defend as they approach turn one. He's on the inside, though, as Bert Fry dives up the inside, goes way too deep. Sure enough, that's going to promote an opportunity for Timmy. Pete Gibb trying to have a little look up the inside as well. He's had to slot back in. Hirokram's managed to fend it off, though. He's got the lead. Timmy on the inside as they approach turn number 3 now. Can he get a potential bit of a run? Timmy's on the inside, but outside and then inside didn't quite work for him. Gibbs in 4th, Wace is 5th, Jordan 6th place currently. Bruce Lee Harden and D Whitehouse side by side. Can D Whitehouse try and fling it around the outside? He's looking to go around the outside. Yes, he doesn't quite make it. So Bruce Lee takes 7th place back. D Whitehouse is in 8th, D10 Piper 9th, Seamus down to 10th. In that sort of gunmetal grey livery that he's got going on, with the whole host of Irish colours involved too. Obviously Seamus from Ireland himself. Oh, that's a car into the gravel. That's Pete Gibb who's gone flying off. So Pete Gibb's gone down to 10th. Didn't quite see what happened, unfortunately. Looks like he might have been muscled out of the corner. Hirokram, though, leads the way. Bert Fry 2nd, Timmy 3rd, Wace is 4th. But here comes Jordan. He's just behind him in that number 16 car. On the brakes, Wace gone a little bit deep into the corner. Opportunity presents itself for Jordan. Can he set the car up for a good run coming out of turn 12? He can do. He's going to be on the inside for the little kink at 13. Got the move at the moment. Bert Fry in a slipstream of Hirokram up the road. Jordan's going to have to brake later. Good move. He leaves the room. Wace trying to look for a switch back, but he's picked up a penalty. Bruce Lee Harden now getting involved in the act. He's on the inside. Here comes D Whitehouse as well. On the inside, Bruce Lee up the inside of Jordan as well. They're 2 by 2 as they approach the first, the first time in line as they go on to the second lap. Hirokram's having to defend as well further up the road, but we're watching these 4 because it's absolutely almost 4 wide in a way. They've got to be very careful. Wace brakes very, very late on the outside. He's run too deep as Wace. Bruce Lee has held his 4th. A little bit of contact between Jordan and D Whitehouse, but nothing too major. D Whitehouse has been switched back up the inside by Jordan. He's on the inside. Still on the inside. He's going to be on the outside coming out of the Mercedes arena. Dave going on the curb. Jordan forced that wide. He's still there. Is he going to be close enough? Not quite. No, he slots himself back in. Wace trying to go around the outside. Great start already in the Scirocco Cup already. It's been fantastic. So, opening lap then. D10 Piper up to 8th. Seamus is in 9th. Gibb is down in 10th. He's dropped even more time. Really a shame for P. Gibb. But Heracamp has the lead, but he's kept honest by Burnt Fry. He's kept very honest indeed in this opening lap. Burnt Fry looking to take the spoils. It would be an upset. Absolutely would be. Heracamp definitely the favourite, especially after his qualifying pace. Can Burnt Fry get a good run? Didn't look like he did. Look like we're too deep into the corner, and sure enough, Heracamp's gapped a little bit. I don't think Burnt Fry's going to be close enough. Bruce Lee's up to 4th. He's still there. Jordan in 5th. Lost a little bit of time to his family relative. Waste, though, under immense pressure from D. Whitehouse as they come towards the chicane. On the brakes goes D. Whitehouse. Good clean move. Waste trying to go for a potential switch back, and he's done well. He's actually got alongside him. He's back up the inside. Seamus is there as well. He's involved too. But Waste, clean move, nicely done. Up into 6th place for Mr. Waste. He's going to be happy with that. Good run back from D. Whitehouse though. Got to keep an eye out on that. Oh, a little bit of ghosting for Waste. Clips up the inside as D. Whitehouse. Jordan trying to defend from about 3 different cars now. D. Whitehouse, oh, there's contact, big contact from Waste. Waste, realistically, that was a big shunt. Should really back off from that. Here comes D10 Piper now, getting involved. He's up to 8th. D. Whitehouse has clipped himself back up the inside. He's on the inside, a little bit of door rubbing between the two. I say door rubbing, more like rear quarter to front quarter. D10 still on the inside. D. Whitehouse now has to slot back into 9th. Oof, good bit of fighting going on for the midfield at the moment. JPH, otherwise known as Jordan, currently holding everyone up. Bruce Lee, 1.8 clear at the moment with 14 minute 50 to go. So we're only in the opening quarter of this race. The front 3 just holding stations at the moment. Really good showing from the Sciroccos currently. Scirocco drivers really getting involved and having a good fight. It's D10 Piper we're with at the moment. A very clean livery that from D10 Piper. I mentioned it last week as well, but it is a very clean livery. I like that a lot myself. He's got a little bit of slipstream on Seamus. I don't think he's going to be close enough. Have a little look potentially. He does go a little bit of luck on the inside, but Seamus just shuts the door. There's D. Whitehouse in 9th. Thanks to the fighting from these guys, Gibb is now just closing the gap. Burnt Fry has set fastest lap. Heracamp, does he feel the need to defend? No, he doesn't, would be the answer to that question. So, Heracamp still leads the way, but he's got a lot of pressure. In fact, I think Heracamp got a little bit of a bump there from the CRT Burnt Fry driver there. There's Timmy in 3rd, Bruce Lee 4th. Jordan still in 5th, still holding the top 5 place at the moment. Seamus in 7th presently after his tricky start. D. Whitehouse looking for a switchback. Just looking at the traction coming out of the corners from the drivers. No throttle map indicator to me saying that D. Whitehouse is afflicted with the same problems, but we don't know really. Obviously I can only judge the data from what you can see as well. Waste still shadowing the back of the Boyd Transport driver of Jordan. See if he can try and make a move somewhere on circuit. Ooh, I think that was Burnt Fry just clipping the gravel. You can see he's really pushing at the moment to try and get a good run coming through turn 11, then trying to set that up through turn 12. He's turned tighter into the corner. It's a good line from Burnt Fry. Again, I don't think he's quite close enough. We have a little look on the slipstream. You can see he's matching the speed. Now he's going quicker through the kink. I think he's just coming too soon for Burnt Fry. You know, he just needs to get a little bit closer, although I say that Heracram was very, very wide on the curb, but Burnfry just loses that little bit of momentum that he would have needed to latch on through the hairpin. Heracram, again, a little bit wide, but just edges away each time. I don't think Burnfry is close enough. Just watching the gap coming down on that left-hand side. No, he's not quite close enough. Timmy running in a lonely third, it would have to be said, at the moment. But I'm certain he won't be displeased with third place if that's where he finishes. Bruce Lee again in fourth. Lapping roughly the same time as Jordan, actually, to be honest. There's Waste now getting pressured by slow Seamus. We'll ride on floor camera for this one. You can see Seamus has a little look. Can he go up the inside? Waste has gone too deep onto the curb. Waste trying to come back into the line. That's not going to happen. Seamus up the inside. Waste has to slot back in. So Waste losing that position there. He just went on the curb going into turn number 4, or rather turn number 3. And that was that. He just went on the curb, went too wide, tried to slot back in, but there was an Irish Scirocco right in the middle of that corner. And he said thank you very much. He was up to 7th. D. Whitehouse is up to 8th. After his fighting earlier on with D10 Piper, who's now got Gibb. Gibb's now finally joining the fight. He's obviously going to be frustrated after what happened in lap 1. He's back involved now. Burnfry has made a mistake somewhere. He's now 1 second off the back of Heracram, so that is going to be quite a difficult gap to try and close down. And Heracram, with the pace that he has, now that he has a little bit of a gap, he's going to try and utilise that to break away and use some good lap times. Timmy's still 3rd, Bruce Lee 4th. Still very close between Wace and Seamus. See Wace running that green and black JD car. The 77 driver. Just with Seamus. Closes very late on the brakes with Seamus. That's not gone well, and D. Whitehouse has followed him through. Didn't take the right line through there. Here comes D10 Piper then for an opportunity at 8th place. He's got the move up the inside. Gibbs looking for a move. Keeps it nice and clean, does Gibb. And they're going to be line astern as they come down onto the number 6 lap. D10 Piper, I'm fairly certain, I think he moved a little bit too late. D. Whitehouse now on the inside. We'll stay with Gibb. Gibb just looking for that big cut for the corner. Almost like a huge drop then as he went down through turn number 1. But these 5 are fighting so hard that you can see how far ahead Jordan is of them now. He's 3.1 clear. He's got all the time in the world to try and focus on catching Heracram. As I say that, Burnfry has been overtaken by Timmy, so the race for the lead has been absolutely wiped out. Burnfry's made a mistake somewhere. You can see that lap time, 2 minute 4.2. Made a big mistake. Timmy up to 2nd, so he'll be very happy in his position, will Timmy. He was just minding his own business at 3rd, kept it on the circuit. Burnfry down to 3rd. Bruce Lee 4th, JPH 5th. Then we go to the 5-car battle for 6th. Wace currently in front for that. Seamus still shadowing him at the moment. There's D. Whitehouse in the Club 100 car. He's 8th. Gibb up to 9th, and D10 Piper has just been gapped a little bit. And I fear for D10 Piper that might just be his opportunity gone. He's had a good showing though, D10, on his debut. He didn't take part in the sort of media day last week, did D10. But he'll be happy with his performance, considering he hasn't got much practice. So then, back to the 4-car fight for what is now 6th place at the moment. Wace goes a very peculiar line through the kink at 13. D. Whitehouse closing up on the brakes, as does Seamus. Seamus gets a very good run, actually. He's got to try and clear that half-second penalty, though. Can he do anything up the inside of Wace? Wace trying to clear his own penalty. He's got 1.2 that he does need to try and get rid of. Seamus still in 7th. D. Whitehouse very close to the back of Seamus. He's looking at the move at the inside. He will brake later. Opportunities there for him. He slots one up the inside. Seamus looking to do a switchback. It's going to be very difficult in a front-wheel drive car to go around the outside. Looks to cut up the inside, but unfortunately track limits would have got him on that one, so he had to back out of it. So DY House, nice clean move up to 7th. And now he's back behind Wace, who earlier on there was a little bit of a knocking together between the two. Sent Dave out wide. He'll want to try and get himself back ahead for that. Burnt Fry has retaken the position from Timmy. We haven't seen it on circuit, but Timmy up to 3rd. Looks like Burnt Fry's gone a little bit too deep into the corner. He's had to open the steering wheel there because Timmy was there. He's going to have a decent run coming through the Schumacher S's. And Burnt Fry all up on the curb, just trying to maximise his speed, but I think it actually compromised him. Only roughly a third of the session left to go now. Timmy just climbing onto the curb, gets a nice line through the corner. Burnt Fry swings it further out. And probably will get a little better of a drive. But I tell you what, Timmy managed to grip the car up well through the corner. He's going to have a good run coming through the turn 13 kink. Let's go on board, or rather on the external camera. He's on the outside as they approach the chicane. Who brakes later? They both practically brake at the same time. They're both going side by side through the corner, and sure enough, Timmy has to cut over the grass. Fairly certain that he'll let... Yeah, or is he? Is he trying to clear his penalty at the same time? He has. Burnt Fry looking for that switchback. I don't think Timmy's going to let the throttle off here. I think he's going to say he had the move done, but I don't think he did. I think he's gone over the curb there. So Burnt Fry, whether he'll have seen that is another matter, but he's going to look for the move up the inside now. He's on the brakes. He's got his nose along the rear right tyre of Timmy, but I don't think that's going to happen for a switchback. And although I say that, there's an opportunity. It's opened up for Burnt Fry. He's on the inside. Can he get 3rd? Turn 3. In 2nd place, he can. He's snatched 3rd gear as well at the same time. And through he goes. Nice move between the two. Good battling going on there. And CRT Burnt Fry back up to 2nd place. D Whitehouse is up to 6th. He's got past Wace, who's dropped some way back from there. And someone else who's dropped further back is Gibb. Gibb's down to 10th. So Piper, after saying earlier on I was almost dismissive of him, set his personal best last lap and he's up to 9th. Gibb trying to look for a move up the inside, maybe. Nothing doing there, but he's got a good run coming out of turn number 6. But not there. Not quite close enough. He's going to go for a move, a late lunge on the brakes. Into turn 8. He's got the move done. Piper looking for a switchback, but not quite there for Piper. Good battling. Meanwhile, further up the field, Slow Shamer's got a really good run on D Whitehouse. They were very close. A little bit of a tap going into turn 11 for Seamus. Just bumped the back of D Whitehouse, and I think there was another little tap there too. Didn't gain anything from that. In the meantime, I could see that Timmy has got back past Burnt Fry further up the road. So those two really fighting for that last podium, and sure enough, Seamus just clearing that penalty, wants to get rid of that. Jordan has closed the gap, but I tell you something, these two are fighting so hard, Burnt Fry and Timmy now, for these two podium spots. Look at the time that Bruce Lee has gained. He's only 1.4 off the back of them. Burnt Fry on the outside now as they approach turn 1. 2 laps to go. Brakes a little bit earlier, looks for that switchback. He did it before. Can he do it again? Timmy wise to it this time, but he hasn't covered it quick enough. And sure enough, Burnt Fry is going to be on the inside as they go into turn number 3. Timmy trying to hang it round the outside, and he's got the move done. He's up into 2nd again as Burnt Fry. But look at the gap. 1 second now between Bruce Lee Harding and the Timmy Burnt Fry battle. So these two, wonderful battles to watch. Absolutely fantastic for everyone to see. But is there going to be more drama with a lap and a half to go? Jordan might want to wait and pick up any pieces that might be there if anything does happen. Seamus is still right behind. Gibb is into 9th. What's happened to Wace? Seems to be having a few issues there with his accelerator. He's gone into pause mode because it's coasting. Oh dear, I'm not sure what's happened to Wace. But P. Gibb in 9th at the moment, D10 Piper in 8th. D10 Piper not looking as if he's going to finish in 10th place, which is good for him. That would be a really good result. He's having a good fight with Gibb at the moment, as is Seamus with Dave. Still both of them having a really good fight between themselves. Meanwhile, in the fight for second place, Timmy DJG having a great scrap. He's going to try and go to the outside of Bert. He tries to do a switch back. That would have been very brave. It was a good idea. But 1 lap to go for these drivers now. And I say 1 lap to go, looking at the time remaining on the right hand side. We haven't seen much of him in the race but since the early stages, but Heracram's been fantastic today. Once again. Timmy there. Will he look for a lunge? It'd be very late if he tried it, but he's not close enough. Bruce still shadowing at the moment. Seamus in 6th. He's got past D Whitehouse. Gone very defensive as Seamus. D Whitehouse have seen that. Looks for a switch back, but Seamus plants his Scirocco right in the way. D10 Piper in 8th. Gibb 9th. Wace is done, I think, for the day. I think that's his opportunity for any further position done. He'll probably look to the next race in Alsace for any further opportunities. JPH still there. Ooh, Timmy on the back of Burntfry. This is pressure cooker central now for CRT Burntfry. He's going to want to hold on absolutely for that podium, for that second place. You know, he didn't see what happened to him on lap 5. He made a mistake and that just dropped him away from Hirakram. And as I said earlier, once Hirakram's off in a bit of free space, he'll be gone. And you can see his lap times have been absolutely phenomenal. He's had a really good race. We'll come back to him though, because here comes Timmy now. He's trying to look for a move through the centre S. Not quite going to pull that one off, is Timmy. Can he set it up through turn 11 and 12? This is going to be the key moment now. He gets a tighter line. It's a good run from Timmy. He's right there with Burntfly. We'll cut to Hirakram in a moment. Here it comes then. This is the key point now in this race. Can Timmy go around the outside of Burntfly? Can he do what Danzo did to Bertus in the McGann race last week? He's on the outside, both side by side. That's a big cut from Burntfly, and that's that game over. Hirakram takes the victory. Great result for Hirakram. Absolutely dominant drive. Burntfly's in second. He's going to hold on. Despite that little incident at the chicane, he's going to take second. Timmy is third. It was a good effort from him. Good effort for Bruce Lee Harden. He takes 4th. JPH in 5th. D Whitehouse has got past Seamus. He's going to finish in 6th place. Good result for the Club 100 driver, despite his throttle issues. 7th for Seamus. 8th for Piper. He's going to be very pleased with that. And Gibb decides to do a big slide. And that's Wace, who's just coasting round. So Hirakram with a fantastic performance in race 1. He was in a league of his own. Absolutely in a league of his own. Really, really good fight to watch between those drivers. But Hirakram, Burntfry and Timmy had a fantastic duel that was really good to see. As did D Whitehouse and Seamus, along with Piper and Gibb. A lot of good fighting going on. I think Wace has just crossed the line now. So those are your top 10 drivers. And only 2 drivers actually didn't pick up any form of penalty during the race. That's Hirakram and P. Gibb. But the victory goes to Hirakram. Fantastic result. He'll be happy with that, no doubt. And that is round 1 of the Volkswagen Scirocco League. We will stay in the stream for race 2. We'll combine the 2 together because why not? I'm going to have a little breather myself for a few moments. A lot of comments in the chat. Sent myself to the sand, says Gibb, as was going to take Timmy out. Good fight back through. Shane Wace first controller unghosted in the breaker zone into the chicane and sent me off. Okay, so there was a bit of an incident there between obviously P. Gibb and Wace, unfortunately. So just another comment for P. Gibb saying it was unfortunate more than anything else. No hard dive. Okay, cool. So that's unfortunate. Qualifying to start in 2 minutes for Alsace. Obviously, I hope that Jordan does change the track before then. I'm going to have a little breather for that point. So that was pretty good for the race. That was really good battling. And now we're going to be at round 2 in Alsace, which is going to be really fascinating to watch. And hopefully we'll get some of the drivers from Lobby 2 watching the action, hopefully, because they've just finished. So, yeah. There's a comment from Twiggy61 saying, "Good luck, Pip Duburn." Now, that could be D10 Piper, for all I know. It could be anyone, as far as I know. So, qualifying due to start. Jordan just saying Pip in Lobby 2. And that's another point to make as well, whilst we're just waiting for this little practice session to go on. I will be commentating on Lobby 2 for both races. On Sunday, I'll be saving those replays, having a watch of the races shortly. A lot more drivers going to be joining Lobby 2 next week from what I've heard, so that's going to be fascinating to see. Jordan's starting qualifying now, which is good to have, so no point in entering just yet. Although all the drivers have enjoyed doing that. Twiggy's just saying, "Oh, sorry, it's okay, Twiggy. Don't mind. Come stay and watch, if you wish to." Still waiting for Waste to enter. Hopefully he can sort out his controller issues. Just having a quick look through the comments from the drivers area that we have. See, the drivers getting a chance to go around to do a couple of quick practice laps. Although I say that, with qualifying technically having started, we're not running the qualifier, or rather the practice qualifier endurance race settings. So I hope that the drivers on circuit know that they are in a qualifying session. I know that Jordan has put a comment in. See, Hiracram's just gone on to his first lap. He's got Seamus just shadowing as well. Seamus looking quite quick through that sort of quick turn 2, turn 3 complex. It does look quick to Seamus. Certainly putting Hirakam under a bit of pressure in this 10-minute qualifying session. Obviously Alsace, wonderful circuit in GT Sport, really wonderful to watch the drivers go around. Obviously, judging by the McGann race from earlier on, I'll be spending most of my time following the drivers on the external camera. It's quite difficult to track the action. Here I'm taking a very wide line. That's actually very good optimum line that Hirakam takes through the turn 8. Big right-hander there. Seamus just shadowing him all the way through this lap so far. Seamus probably in the best place to try and follow anyone, because Hirakam being a superb driver. As he comes now just over the little crest, he's going to come down onto the brakes, just under this Gran Turismo sign. We will ride on board with a lap with Hirakam actually, and he comes over the line. 6 minutes to go in the session. So here we go, on board with a lap in the Scirocco then. So it's a 1:57.6 from Hirakam as he approaches turn 1. Down the gears into third. You can see the car juddering under acceleration as he comes out of the corner, up into fourth. Timmy currently provisionally pole, but still a long way to go in this session. Up to fifth gear for Hirakam. Will he reach sixth before they get to turn 2? Not quite. Will he upshift before the corner? No, he just keeps it in fifth, right on the rev limiter, down into third gear. Good effort from him so far. He's got Seamus shadowing him so far at the moment. Hirakam in fourth gear, a little bit of a lift, clips the inside curb, or rather the inside grass. Then into fifth gear, down to second under the Gran Turismo little banner. Into third gear, nice corner so far. Good lap from Hirakam at the moment. Completely flat through the little kink at turn 6, then through turn 7, down to fourth gear. Will he go to third? No, again keeps it in fourth. Right on the limit there was Hirakam. Then he takes this wider line, different from what Seamus takes in the rear view camera. But this seems to work. He can hook the car in, but did he go a little bit too wide there, did Hirakam? Not quite getting it the way he did on the first lap. In fifth gear still, 3/10 up on his best time. Down into second, hard on the brakes. Nice and tight into the corner, early on the power as well. Is the left-hander at turn 12 flat, not quite, little lift. Runs a little bit wide, does Hirakam, right on the edge of the limit. Into fifth gear, over the top of the hill. Spotty braking at the banner there, under the gears, down to third. Hooks the car in well, little bit of throttle application in the middle. Gets the car, swings back through in third gear, through fourth. What is his lap time going to be? He does improve. He's 300ths faster than P. Gibb at this present moment. So, good showing from Hirakam. P. Gibb, after his troubles in race 1, can he bounce back in race 2? Got a bit of work to do. I say a bit of work, it's only 300ths of a second. It's very tight between the top. Wow, the top 5 drivers are separated by a 10th. It's fantastic. Let's see what Gibb can do as he comes towards the line. It's not going to improve by the look of it. No, he seems to go a little bit slower there. Timmy, he's just started another lap. He went slower that lap. Seamus was... Seamus just giving a little bit of a thanks to Hirakam. He certainly thrust himself further up in the field. As Bernd Fry in 5th currently. Jordan in 6th. See how he gets on. D. Whitehouse in 7th. Wondering how his sticking throttle's going at the moment, or rather his half throttle. Bruce Lee, he's in 8th at the moment. 9th is D10 Piper. Wace is in 10th. Jaino has joined the room. So that is an interesting one from Jaino. I hope he realises it's a league race. Wace in 10th there. Just you see the car shaking around. He's not set a lap time yet properly, has Wace. He's got burnt fry all over the back of him. Oh, D10 Piper still in 9th. A long lap this. The Scirocco is a little bit slower than the Megane around the circuit. Shame it's just slowing right down actually, just letting everyone through. Hirakan has gone even quicker. It's done a 57 flat. He's got time for this one lap left. Jordan will no doubt start the timer exactly on 10 minutes. So Hirakan, Timmy's gone P1. Good effort from the, let's say, green, almost martini livery sponsor of Timmy there. That's a fantastic effort. Just 400ths effectively quicker than Hirakan. Burntfry's got himself up to 3rd. Gibbs in 4th. Doesn't improve though, unfortunately. Did set a purple sector time earlier on in the lap by the seams of it. Seamus in 5th, coming to a crawl. Gino saying, "Can I play?" Just going to give him a quick answer. Just going to say league race. So Seamus has pulled over to the side. There's JPH just coming around that difficult turn 11 corner. He's coming through turn... Oh, rather, he's actually coming through turn 3. He's going forward now. Camera belies really where you are on circuit. So Jordan going to finish this lap, no doubt. He's gone purple in the first sector. Gino is a very quick driver. I think Jordan is actually just paused. Or has he just got his indicator on? No, he's just got his indicator on. Seamus is done. Gibb going around that flat, effectively. I say flat. If flat in 5th gear it would be, because he's a little bit higher revs there than he would want. Burntfry in 3rd at the moment. Hirakan's coming towards the line. He improves, takes his 1st place back. Timmy coming through that final corner now. Oh, he's clipped the wall. That's going to sap his momentum. Any chance of going any quicker has definitely gone with that. Burntfry still 3rd. Gibb coming towards the line now. I say coming towards the line, coming towards that penultimate chicane. Flicks the car through. He's only half a second down at the moment. What's his lap time going to be? Doesn't improve. Jordan doesn't improve either. So Jordan just pulling to the side there. Looks like D Whitehouse is on a lap at the moment. Wonder if Jordan will give him the opportunity to try and set this lap time. I'm sure Dave will certainly want that. Just see him coming over the brow at the moment. There's Bruce Lee in 8th place. Finished 4th last race at the Nurburgring, so double his score of what he should be at the moment. D Whitehouse coming towards the line. I don't think he's going to improve. Indeed he doesn't. Unfortunately Jay not able to join due to the qualifying starting. Seamus just flying off the circuit. Timmy on his final lap, Bruce Lee Harden on his final lap. There's another driver as well, that's Hirakan. So the battle for pole's still on. We'll go to Hirakan, although I think Hirakan's, yeah, he's not setting a competitive lap time. So it will come down to what Timmy can do. He's 1.5 tenths off the back of Hirakan. He's got Bruce Lee just behind him, which, oh, he's gone too deep into the corner. That's game over for him. What about Bruce Lee? Will he take any advantage from following Timmy? Looks like a potentially better lap, and it is up to 7th goes Bruce Lee Harden, but it's Hirakan on pole again. He'll be happy with that as Wace comes barreling through the start-finish straight. All the field separated by 1.5 seconds. That's really, really competitive currently. The Scirocco just a touch slower than the Lobby 2 drivers in the Meganes. The McGanns were doing 1 minute 54s around here, so you can see a difference of about 2.5 seconds. Hirakram deciding that he probably could go quicker in reverse, so giving that one a whirl. A couple of knocks and bumps going on. So race about to start. Jordan's going to kick that off, but it's Hirakram on pole and Timmy running very close. The whole field very close, actually, has to be said. You know, half a second covers the top 5. Jordan ended up relegated, well, I want to say relegated down to 10th, but I think he's just come out of the pits. So we're waiting for the race to start. It's a 20-minute race, of course. Gibbs saying, Hirakram sector 1 still faster than me in reverse. So, lots to see, lots to watch out for in this race. Jordan just running around on circuit at the moment. So Jordan started the fine, that's good to see. So Hirakram on pole once again in that white Tesco car. Timmy in the green Martini back. Scirocco on the left hand side. He starts on the front row. Burnt, Fry and Gibb just behind. 20 minutes on the right hand side. Here come the numbers. And the race is live here from Alsace Village. It's a very good start from JPH. He's flew off the line. Gibb's gone backwards. Not a great start for Gibb. But Hirakram leads as they go into turn number 1. Timmy's got second. Burnt Fry's on the inside of Seamus. That's move almost complete. That's Bruce Lee Harding going all over the grass as they come out of the first corner. Burnt Fry on the outside. I can't cut to the other cameras as due to a little glitch that happens on GT Sport with the replay options. So we're just going to stay with this for now. 2x2 for Burnt Fry and Seamus, as well as a little bit further back. Burnt Fry on the inside. Got the move done, he's up to 3rd. Seamus is 4th, JPH 5th, D Whitehouse 6th. That's Bruce Lee, very wide over the curves, as was Gibb. He's gone backwards off the start. He was 4th, he's now 8th. Probably forgot about the traction control. But he's been overtaken by D10 Piper as well, so that's Gibb now down into 9th place. I'm going to back out, come back in, just so that we can see the alternative angles of the cars. JPH got a very good run on the back of slow Seamus. Looking for maybe a little sneak peek up the inside at turn 7. Nothing doing there. Although Seamus has run wide and D Whitehouse has had a fantastic run. Which way does he go? Is he going to look to the inside for the pair of them? He is indeed. Brakes a little earlier. Got to be careful. The corner does tighten up, but JPH aware of that, as was D Whitehouse, and that slots them all back in quite nicely. Good clean racing between the 3 of them, actually, to be honest. But Hirakram leads the way. Oh, a little bit of a knock on the back of Jordan from D Whitehouse, just in the braking zone. He's gone a little bit wide as Dave there. Bruce is 7th. Piper a little bit further back. He's got a second to Wace. He's got half a second to Gibb, and Wace has got, well, they've both done exactly the same thing of Wace and Gibb. They've both gone into the wall at turn number 12. Not ideal. Hirakram though, he's got just under half a second on Timmy, on Burnt Fry, on Seamus. Jordan, D Whitehouse. Oh, D Whitehouse has just clipped the wall. That's an opportunity. Here comes Bruce Lee Harding. Good run, good move. Jordan didn't get the best run either. Bruce Lee looking at the inside of his family member. Both giving each other room. We'll cut to D Whitehouse. Right on board of D Whitehouse. Jordan on the inside at the moment. And Bruce Lee just slots in, just shuts the door on D Whitehouse, but still got to defend on the inside, trying to look around the outside for turn 3 is D Whitehouse. Jordan goes very deep into the corner. Now it's going to be almost 3 wide as they go into turn number 4. This isn't going to end well. They're all 3 wide. D Whitehouse slots back in. It's 2 wide now, but Jordan has the outside line. Bruce, it's going to be 3 wide. In fact, this is fantastic between the 3. Oh, D Whitehouse probably didn't see Piper there. It was lucky it wasn't a worse collision than it could have been. Bruce Lee and Jordan still side by side. D Whitehouse trying to get involved in all of this as well. Piper just watching really to see where he can go. He's on the outside as they come round turn 4. turn 7. And it's 3 wide again. There's 2 bits of door banging between the 2 cars of D. Whitehouse and Jordan. It's 3 wide going through turn 8. D. Whitehouse has gone 2 wide. It's still 3 wide. Bruce Lee on the inside. This is too tight for the 3 of them, but they've got through it. That's fantastic. Here comes D10 Piper. Now he's on the inside. He's got through. He's past Bruce. Bruce must be thinking, what has he done? Jordan trying to look for a move. He's hit D. Whitehouse out of the way. And D10 Piper is up to 5th. Wow, fantastic. D. Whitehouse, though, still on the inside for turn 12, and he just muscles his way back through. Piper has been absolutely submerged, and he's dropped back down to 8th. He's got the inside for turn 13, though. What a great battle this is. D10 Piper on the inside. D. Whitehouse on the inside. D10 goes very late on the brakes. Bit of contact. Wace has joined in, as has Gibb. It's 6 cars. Oh, Wace has gone very tight into the corner. Oh, a bit more contact between Bruce and the wall. And now it's 3 wide between these 3 as well. Ooh, catch your breath, everyone. This has been fantastic. Wace on the outside. Bruce Lee trying to go through the middle. But Gibb has got 2 places for the price of 1 there. I say that, but Bruce is now looking for a move back up the inside. The front 4 have got no coverage because of how hard these 5 are fighting at the moment. Actually, it's back 6, really, I should be saying. Bruce on the inside. Wace trying to go around the outside. Gibb's been done by the pair of them, so Gibb from 8th to 10th. It's 10th to 8th and then back down to 10th again. It's been one of those races already. What a fantastic scrap this has been in the opening lap. Jordan on the back of D10 Piper. Is there a move for him? Not yet. Absolutely brilliant. A couple of comments. I'm watching. I know that Timmy and Hirakram are very close on circuit at the moment, and this is the gap. You can see it is absolutely tight between the 2. Very frantic, trying to keep on top of everyone at the moment. It's absolutely battles galore wherever you look. Burnt Fry happily sat in 3rd with Seamus in 4th. Seamus just dropped a little bit, but it's very close between these drivers at the moment. D. Whitehouse has gapped D10 Piper. Take a breath, if we can. Here comes Wace now, who's being pushed forward by Gibb. Oh, contact between Bruce and Wace. Bruce has held on. Gibb's going to take that place back. There was a little bit of contact. I wouldn't blame Wace on that one. He did get hit by Gibb. I'm sure Bruce won't be too pleased with that, but he's kept his position. He's still in 8th. Absolutely battles everywhere on the track at the moment. This is a fantastic circuit for it. Jordan's gone a little bit too tight into the corner to try and gain any momentum. It was a chance that for Jordan, but Piper went a little bit deep, and that was that. Jordan too tight. Could have opened up the steering a little bit. Seamus still there. Burnt Fry still in 3rd. Timmy in 2nd. He's just lost a little bit of ground to Hirakam. He needs to keep within a 2nd just to keep the pressure on the Tesco driver. Piper's got a penalty on this circuit. That's quite an achievement. But Piper now having to defend on the inside from Jordan. Can he make that move? Not quite. Slots back in, does the Boyd transport driver. And he still stays there. And they're actually both catching D. Whitehouse at the moment. Gap was over a 2nd. It's just come down. Jordan's still there. Bruce Lee in 8th. 9th is Gibb. Gibb almost late defensive move, but it hasn't quite worked. Wace has unfortunately got bottled up for behind Gibb during that there. A couple of comments saying potentially, oh, a little bit wide from Wace, but Gibb goes even wider. I'm amazed that Gibb kept the momentum in all of that. Absolutely brilliant. App's still under a 2nd. Has he broke the toe? A bit of a tweak over the curbs. I think Timmy now is probably going to be quite engaged with Burnt Fry, so it's a repeat from race number 1. Burnt Fry just 1.4 off. D. Whitehouse, there's Piper and Jordan. Jordan right over the rear spoiler of that Scirocco, and D10's gone deep into the corner. This is a good chance for a switchback for Jordan. He's nailed it well. Just hit the back of the Scirocco in front of him now, and he couldn't quite get past. Bruce is 8th. Gibb 9th. Wace in 10th. A little bit of a gap now between them. And I think, like the comments said, Hirokram looks to have broken Timmy's resolve. 11 minutes 30 to go in this session effectively. Almost half the race done. What a half we've had so far. Seamus has been gapped now. D. Whitehouse still has a second to Piper. But Piper and Jordan, the two closest drivers on circuit at the moment. Exceptionally frantic opening 10 minutes. As you might have heard already, my voice has started to have some difficulty with watching this action at the moment. But we're still carrying on. Jordan looking again very close up the inside, but not close enough to make any form of impression on 6th place. Whilst they keep fighting, D. Whitehouse just got that gap over a second again. Jordan taking a wider line. Might give him a good bit of a momentum coming off the corner. It's giving him a great amount of momentum. Look at the run he's got. He's coming now towards turn 10. He's on the inside for 10, outside for 11. He's going to try and go around the outside, and D10 Piper braked very early. He's just sort of re-ghosting back into the lobby, and great move. Fantastic move. Jordan up to 6th place then. Brilliant move to set it up through turn number 8, right the way round. And then turn 10, round that hairpin. Brilliant overtake for the Boyd Transport driver. So Jordan up into 6th place. Gibbs in 9th at the moment. Wace not having a good time. I don't know if he's hit the wall or something on this lap. Timmy's still there. He actually went quicker on that last lap, despite Burnt Fry's best advances. I say that, he's looking. Oh, he's hit the back of Timmy. In fact, Timmy's slowed right down and let him through. So, is this a bit of teamwork from Timmy and Burnt Fry? Is Timmy going to let Burnt Fry try and catch back up to Hirokram? Considering he's got fastest lap, Burnt Fry seems to be in the groove right now. 1.3. It's going to be quite difficult. The slipstream is away from the pair of them. That's the tactic going on from Timmy and Burnt Fry. It's going to be difficult to do, but we'll soon find out. Definitely a tactical move. D. Whitehouse is being caught by Jordan now that he's got past Piper. Jordan would be aiming for 2 top 5s. I'm sure he'd be happy with that. Piper, again, another good race for him. He'll be happy. Bruce Lee's in 8th still. Gibbs closed that gap on him now. Just cut away from that lead fight. You see Gibb. 2 races where you've seen the pace from Gibb, but it's just not gone right for him. It's been really unfortunate. You can see D10 Piper having a little look at the inside of Jordan there. Not quite close enough. What about at the front? Oh, it's a lot bigger. So, what has happened on this lap? The gap was 1.3. It's now 2.9, effectively almost 3 seconds. Didn't work. The tactic hasn't worked at all. You can see the lap time he's lost. Hirokram's gone and set fastest lap. Well, Burnt Fry now has to try and fight off Timmy, because the gap as it stands, unless Hirokram makes a mistake with less than 8 minutes to go, good run for Timmy this, but Timmy's just staying behind it by the look of it. That's the plan. Now he's on the inside for turn 3, but backs out of it. Backs out of it. Timmy still seems to think that Burnt Fry has the speed. That's going to be interesting. Seamus is 4th. D. Whitehouse running in 5th. Jordan. Oh, Jordan's understeered onto the gravel a little bit. He gets away with it. Piper holding station in 7th. Bruce Lee watching these two. He's also got to watch out for Gibb behind him. Wace having a bad day. Might be having some issues with his controller by the look of it. But Burnt Fry's still in 2nd. He's just run a touch wide. He's got to be careful of that grass on the exit of turn 7. Seamus is not too far away from these two. He might be sat there looking for a potential opportunity. Just looking at a couple of comments there, I think it's Jane who's commenting, just saying Timmy's line through the long right-hander is way quicker. A lot of different lines being taken through that corner. I think Timmy might be looking at that wider line potentially, but oh, descent Piper very deep on the brakes, nearly went into the back of Jordan. Gibbs now got past Bruce Lee. A little bit of lag, hopefully that solves itself. Yeah, it looks like it has done. Bruce all over the back of Gibb at the moment. Not sure what's happening to Wace. Still trying. Hopefully he can get to the end, despite his dilemmas. Bruce now has joined in this fun with Gibb, and he was joined in the fun with Piper. Jordan has gapped him. He's got 1.2. Needs to utilise that now. Maybe the really tight line from Timmy. Oh, Timmy has got past Burnt Fry, so he's probably looked at the gap and gone, yep, no chance now. Let's get past and get on with it. Seems like in hindsight, of course, the tactic didn't work, but I can understand the logic, and I'm certain all the other racers who are watching at the moment will understand that. Could have been an idea, didn't quite pull off, but Heracram's now 4 seconds to the good. Burnt Fry still in third. He'll want to try and fight back for that. Absolutely, Burnt Fry will want that second place back. Another great battle between these two again after the first race at Nurburgring. Seamus in fourth. Not too far away. If these two fight again, it's going to give him an opportunity. D. Whitehouse is fifth, Jordan sixth, Piper's seventh. This is where the other fight on circuit is at the moment. Through the long right-hander. This time around, Burnt Fry has gained the advantage. So, here's the slipstream for Burnt Fry. Is he going to have a little look? He's not quite close enough. But Timmy's gone too deep. Opens the steering a little bit. He knew Burnt Fry was there, but nothing doing yet. Burnt Fry hooks the corner up well. He's run too wide. Just going to lose his momentum as he comes towards turn 13 over the crest. Timmy, is he going to go defensive? Not defensive enough by the look of it. Burnt Fry not trying that move into the third to last corner. Can he look to do a switchback? Seamus in the meantime. There's the gap. I said he was going to be there or thereabouts, and his lap time has been fantastically consistent recently. And look at that, he's just done a personal best as Seamus. So, 3-car fight. Wace is done. It's a shame for Wace. He must have had some form of issue with his controller. You could see his throttle was blipping all over the place. Whitehouse still in fifth. Gibbs in eighth. Got Bruce Lee all over the back of him. Jordan not as far ahead as he would have thought. He's gained time on D. Whitehouse on that last lap though. 2 laps to go potentially for these drivers, depending on whereabouts they are on circuit. Timmy's got Burnt Fry though all over the back of him. Say that, Seamus has dropped back a little bit, and Timmy's stopped. So Timmy tactically braking there before the corner, lets Burnt Fry straight back through. So this is an interesting game being played by Timmy. This is very fascinating to see what his idea is. Does he want to be attacking Burnt Fry going on to the final lap? Is that his idea? These drivers might just have enough time for 2 laps as well, compared to where the others are on circuit. Both taking the tighter line this time. Oof, Timmy taking it right to the edge. Is he going to look for a move going into the turn 10 left-hander? He just backs out of it. These guys all in. Oh, Gibbs gone all over the grass. He's just about held it. Here comes Bruce Lee. And straight up the inside. He'll take that. He'd happily say yes to a move that easy. Bruce Lee up to 8th place now. Heracram in the meantime just having a nice drive, probably doing a delivery in his Tesco car. Pretty simple for him at the minute. Burnt Fry though, having to defend heavily. There's 2 laps to go for these drivers. But see Timmy having a big jolt out of the corner to try and get on the pressure as early as possible. He's up the inside and he's got the move done. What about Burnt Fry on the switchback? He's got a very good run as Burnt Fry. He's on the outside now as they approach turn number 2. Seamus just watching on through all this, and Timmy, is he going to keep his car there on the inside? I believe he is. Going to look to try and go around the outside. I tell you what, this would be some move if he can pull that off. No, not quite. He has to get himself back into the line. Sheamus just shadowing the two of them. If any sniff of a chance comes Sheamus's way, he's going to take it. Timmy taking very, very much liberties of that corner there. He was very close to the grass. D. Whitehouse, he's set a personal best on that last lap as Dave. So just every time Jordan makes any inroads on him, Dave repels him back. So quite even between these two. Piper's got half a second, 6/10 effectively to Bruce Lee, who's got the same gap to Gibb, who's a little bit on the grass there. Got to be careful on that one. You can see Timmy taking that tighter line again. It's just washed him wide a little bit. One lap to go after this one. You can see on the brakes down into second gear potentially for these drivers. Timmy preferring to use third. You've got Sheamus just behind as well. Sheamus in probably the best position, really. There's no pressure on him. Keeps up the momentum. He's going to be right there on his final lap. Here we go then, on the brakes, down into the third to last corner. Timmy takes that little bit of a tighter line. He's got to be careful he doesn't clip the metal barrier on the inside as they go on to that final lap. 20 seconds now. D. Whitehouse coming towards the line now. I think everyone else should be fine to get across the line. I don't think there's going to be any problems. No, they're all good. So, one lap for everyone then. Bert Fry still has second place. Timmy in third. Sheamus just sat in fourth for the time being. Timmy's got a good run. Where's he going to look? He's going to go very extreme to the inside for turn number 3. He's on the inside. That's a good move. Got to try and keep the momentum up though. And he has. He's got the line. That's a great move from Timmy. But still half of the lap. Rest to go. Still a long way left. Bert Fry's really dug himself a line up the inside on the grass. He's utilised the curb well. He's on the outside for turn number 5. Timmy, very clean racing between these two. Timmy's got second. Sheamus has just sat there waiting for an opportunity to try and get through. D. Whitehouse, everyone else looks like they're just a bit far behind. Gibbs very close to Bruce Lee in the meantime. Bert Fry though gets a better line. Here's Sheamus, he's just sat there. He's been waiting all the way through this race watching these two in front of him. Took a wider line. Sheamus is there. Here comes Bert Fry now. He's got all over the back of the rear wing of Timmy. He's going to be on the inside potentially. Will he look for a very late lunge into turn 11? Not quite. Sheamus goes very deep on the brakes. I think that might have just sapped his momentum. I want to cut to Hirokram because he's having a great fight, but these two once again having a good scrap. It's all going to come down to this third to last corner, but I don't think Bert Fry is close enough. He's not. It's a win for Hirokram. It's 2 out of 2. Great result for the driver. Fantastic. Timmy's going to hold on to second. He beats Bert Fry to the second place on the podium. Good drive from Sheamus. Really positive performance for him. He'll be pleased with 4th. D. Whitehouse is going to take 5th. He'll be happy with that after his earlier momentum dramas. Jordan, good result, takes 6th. D10 Piper 7th. Bruce Lee Harden 8th. And Gibb sideways across the line in 9th. Ooh, what a race. What a good set of races we had there. So that's it. Hirokram takes the race victory. Fastest lap, pole position. He dominated from start to finish. Excellent results. And that tactic from Timmy didn't quite work in the end. But nonetheless, that was the result as it stands. Hirokram taking 2 wins out of 2 and additional points for pole position. Sheamus finishing 4th. That was a good result for him. Timmy beating Bert Fry this time around in the second race. So he'll be pleased. A little bit of spot of revenge for the green, effectively Martini-backed driver. He'll be very happy with that. Wow. Fantastic. What a wonderful, wonderful league race that was in Lobby 1. So, what I want to say is thank you very much for watching. Next week we're going to be at Tsukuba Circuit in Japan, a series that we've not been to before in the Scirocco, so that's going to be fantastic to see. and Seamus and Burntfry just put a couple of points in there, a couple of comments coming through in the chat, just saying thanks for comms. Thanks everyone for that, really appreciate it. My voice is practically dead. Normally I'd be shouting everywhere, but 3 races in a row has took its toll on my voice, 2 and a bit hours of work, so I'm really glad you all enjoyed it. We will be back again for the Sciroccos and the McGann Trophy next week on Thursday. It's going to be wonderful. Starts at 8 o'clock. All the fun and games will kick off then, so do tune in. If you want to follow NXTGEN, do follow us on our social media channels and platforms. We've obviously got Facebook, Instagram. We've also got Twitter and Discord too. A couple of other areas that you can have a look at as well on that one. Quite a lot of active. Get involved. Be part of the community. It's fantastic. Obviously, well done to the drivers as well for being able to do the 2 races tonight. That's, a lot of work for them. I'm sure they're going to be shattered after that one. But in the meantime, I'm going to take myself off for a break and a long earned rest after these 3 races. It's been absolutely wonderful to commentate on as always. But wherever you might be in the big wide world, have a wonderful day or evening or night, wherever it may be. Thanks very much.